This video is about solving systems of equations, application problems, word problems. I encourage you to pause the video right now and to read this slide. But I'm not going to take the time to do that because I wrote the slide. So I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay, and maybe we should make this bigger. Okay, so a group of 40 children attend a baseball game on a field trip. So all of these numbers are going to be significant to us, the 40 children. Each child could choose either a hot dog or a bag of popcorn. They can't have both, and they can't have neither. They have to have one or the other. The hot dogs cost this amount, and then the popcorn cost this amount. And then there was a total bill of $83.50. How many hot dogs and bags of popcorn were purchased? So this part right here that tells you, that asks you the question, that's going to help you write what is X and Y in this system of equations. How many hot dogs? So this is the number of hot dogs. And students, I just chose arbitrarily to make the hot dogs the X and the bags of popcorn the Y. If you made it the opposite, that's fine. It's just when you get your final answer, you need to go make sense of it, looking back at the beginning, what you decided was X and what you decided was Y. This is the number of bags of popcorn. Okay, now we are going to use these numbers as our coefficients, and we're going to write the equation. Okay, actually two equations. So money, money, money. Money's going to go all together. We're going to have 225, and that goes with the price of hot dogs. So the number of hot dogs times how much they cost, plus the number of bags of popcorn times how much it costs, will total up to this $83.50. So that's why we're putting the things where we're putting them. Okay, then we have another number, and we need two equations. 40. 40 what? 40 children. What are the children doing? They're getting a hot dog or a bag of popcorn. So we're going to take the number of hot dogs that were purchased and the number of bags of popcorn, and that is going to total 40. Okay, there's lots of different combinations that could work, but there's really only one combination that's going to make these prices hit this total, and then those same values to add up to 40. When you get to this point, this is when you have your system. So you can choose whatever method you want to solve. I, in particular, am going to type it into Desmos, and as soon as I can, come on, let me escape. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go type it into Desmos, which thankfully I already did that. So at least that part won't take as long. Okay, so I typed in the first equation and the second equation, and I come to where they're crossing, and it's giving me this value right here, 2713. So now what does that mean? I go back to the slides. 2713. I'm going to write that as an ordered pair. 2713. Okay, well, I'm coming back here to what these X's and Y's were. This was the number of hot dogs, right? And this is the number of bags of popcorn, right? So that's what these values mean. 27 hot dogs, right? Because this is where the X is and this is where the Y is, were purchased. Just a reminder, you can always stop, rewind, watch something again if that was too fast for you. And 13 bags of popcorn. I should probably model better sentence structure than that, but I did answer the question with a sentence. So, all right, now going on to the next one. Now we are talking about some tickets, and I feel like this needs to be bigger. So we are talking about a number of things. Adult tickets for a school musical cost $350. Student tickets sold for $250. On a given night, 321 tickets were sold for this amount of money. How much of each kind of ticket were sold? So we go, what is my X and what is my Y? I usually just pick the first thing and make that that's mentioned and make that the X value. So adult tickets, this is the number of adult tickets. This is the number of student tickets. Money, money, money. Okay, put your money all together in one equation and put the correct coefficients, like the 350, that belongs to adult tickets. So I'm going to say 350 times X. What is X? It's the number of adult tickets. So it's the price of a ticket times the number of them plus the price of a student ticket times the number of student tickets is equal to the total amount of money. Money, money, money. All the money is going together in one equation. Then I also have the number of total tickets that were sold, but I don't know how many of each kind. Well, I don't have to figure it out right this second. I just have to know that the number of adult tickets plus the number of student tickets is a total of 321. So now you have a system. So now you can go and try to solve that system by going to Desmos. And here you have, yes, this is it. So I had already pre-typed it in. Okay, and then I'm going to come here to where they're crossing. Do you see that I had to zoom out a lot? If you can't find where your lines are, it's because you need to zoom out. Look how much I had to zoom out. And then I'm going to click on that spot. Oh, gosh darn it, I can't see it. So I'm going to maybe grab the graph and move it over. There we go. 135 and 186. 135 and 186. Come over here with my marker. 135 and 186. What does that have to do with anything? That's an X, that's a Y. What's an X? X is the number of adult tickets. So 135 adult tickets and 186 student tickets. I'm on the wrong slide. Were sold. And that would be okay, hold on. That is the answer to this question. All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, going on to the next one, throw this in the trash. Okay, now we're looking for a number of things, but it's related to money and coins, okay? That's why I have my little Bitmoji over here with the coins. So Rob has $1.65 in nickels and dimes. He has 25 coins in all. How many of each coin are there? So again, we start with X and Y. Now, could you use N and D? Yeah, you could, but are you going to get confused when you start writing your equations and you're like, wait, I don't know. And then you're going to go graph it and you're going to put N and D into Desmos and it's going to be like, I don't know what you want me to do probably. So that's why I just stick with X and Y as my independent and my dependent variables. Okay. So here's his total. That's how much money he has in total. And he has nickels and dimes. How many? So that's a number of. We'll say these are nickels. And then number of dimes. Well, I don't have very many numbers, guys. I've got this number, which is a total, and I have this many coins. Well, from the previous two examples, you might be able to guess that the number of nickels plus the number of dimes is going to equal to 25. So we could say X plus Y is equal to 25. You might be able to figure that part out. But here's the thinker. I need some more numbers here, right? I need 1, 65 to be my total, but how am I relating to X and to Y? Okay, that can't be right. I need something, but I have no numbers. Well, this is money, right? And this is a nickel. What's a nickel worth? A nickel is worth 5 cents, right? And a dime is equal to 10 cents, right? Okay, so let me come over here and I'll just put 5 and I'll put 10. This isn't making sense. 5 times something plus 10 times something equals 1 point something? All right, because what is this actually? Like if this is a dollar, then this is cents, right? Then actually this is worth 0.05 of a dollar. This is equal to 0.10. That's what they're worth. If you're totaling up money, this is actually the value of a dime. Just like a quarter would be 25 cents, right? This is how you write 25 cents. You can also write it 25 with a little cent sign. So that's just a note. Make sure that you're in the same denomination. We're not talking about how many cents this is. If we were, then we would have to say it was 165 cents. And then you could leave this as just 5 and leave this just as 10. But if you're going to use $1.65, then you got to have this in dollars, which it is 0.05 of a dollar, and it is 0.10 of a dollar. If that didn't make sense, stop and listen to that again, because it should be sensical. So you know that we're going to now go to Desmos. We're going to see where these cross. We're going to get an X value and a Y value, and that is going to tell us what our solution is. So I'm going to, this is the part where I wish it would go faster. Okay, so here I've got my 0.05. Now, if you make that 0.5, that's saying 50 cents. You're going to get the question wrong. So be careful. 0.05 and 0.10. And then I'm coming over here to where they're crossing. 17 and 8. 17 and 8. So 17 and 8. And let's go back to the slideshow. And I got to go back to this question over here. Make it bigger. Okay, so they crossed at 17.8. So now I have, gotta use my writing. 17 nickels and 8 dimes. And you could say, if you wanted to make a better sentence, Rob has, there we go. Rob has 17 nickels and 8 dimes. All right, now we're going to throw that in the trash and we're going to go to the next question. Okay, now cost of some items. Finally, we're doing something that's not a number of. Instead, this is a different type. So David bought 3 DVDs and 4 books, and he spent $40 at this yard sale. Anna, she bought 1 DVD and 6 books, and she spent $18. How much did each book and DVD cost? Okay, so here we don't have, on all the previous problems, we knew how much the popcorn and the hot dogs cost. We know all of those things. So this one's different. We're looking for the cost. So I'm going to have an X and a Y. And so it's going to be the 2 things I'm trying to find a cost of are DVDs and books. So we say cost of a DVD and cost of a book. Okay, then we have 2 scenarios and 2 totals. So we're going to use this for David. David's going to make one equation, and then Anna, and I'm going to write David's equation. So he bought 3 DVDs. So the number, that's the number of DVDs he bought, and I don't know what the cost is, but you have to multiply those 2 things, right? So 3 DVDs for however much each DVD was, plus he also did 4 cost of the book. 4 times the cost of the book because he bought 4 books. And then altogether he spent $40. So that's David, his one scenario. Then let's see what Anna did. Anna got 1 DVD. So I could put 1x. I mean, this isn't really, we don't do that, right? I always say it's bad table manners to write the 1 in front of it. You could do it, but you really shouldn't. So we'll just write X. And then, so this is Anna. She got 1 DVD, 6 books, and this is her total cost. Okay. How many books? 6 of them. And 6 times what? 6 times the cost of each book, right? Okay, here's your system. Now, there's a million different ways to find the solutions here. I guess I'm just overusing Desmos maybe, but and here we go. So we've got our 2 equations written in here. We come over here to our solution. Notice I had to zoom and move over, right, to find this. So again, you might have to use the plus and the minus. You might have to grab the screen and move it so that you can see where they're crossing. And where they're crossing is called the solution, and it's 12, 1. 12, 1. So that means that we would say 12, comma 1. Now, what does 12 mean? 12 is the cost of a DVD. So that means that DVDs cost $12, right? And books cost $1 each. And I mean, they're buying it at a yard sale. Like, that's a little high for a yard sale, right? But whatever, I don't know. Maybe it's a good movie. So that's the end of that. That is how you do those types of problems. Hope that's helpful.